Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you a little bit about a couple little features that you could use inside the software, maybe how to update the opportunity board, how to use the contact section as well, just little quick tips and tricks of how to use everything. But before I get started, I do want to talk a little bit about duplicate content and how the software actually handles it. Now, can we allow duplicate content into the software? That's totally fine. Yes, you can. But how it tracks duplicate content is if you go to settings and we go to, let's say, the company or business profile and scroll down to you see content deduplication preference. You can allow duplicate content or you could disable it. Right now we currently are not allowing it. It's disabled for allowing duplicate content. And how it's doing that, it's checking for phones and emails with the same information. So if you try to add a new contact into the software that has the same phone number as someone else that's already in the software, it won't work. Same thing for emails right here. If you try to add a new contact with the same email as a contact inside the software, it won't allow you to do that as well. Now I can turn this off and then you should be able to do that, but that's going to get very messy because then you'll have a bunch of contacts with the same email, phone numbers with different names and stuff like that. This is just a way to keep the quality assurance of your contacts in your section, but it is available right there. Now let's just say you only want to track duplicate content for phone numbers, but emails are fine. So for example, maybe there's, let's just say my business. We have Oren and Jeff Powell with OverPower Marketing. You could say that we use the same email, but we each have a different phone number, or vice versa. We use different emails, but use the same phone number to reach us. Then in that case, you could then have the option of just selecting, let's just say email, but the second preference would be none. So that way it only checks for emails with duplicate content. So if you try to add a contact with the same email as a contact that's already in the software, it won't allow you in. However, now with the new settings is if you add a contact with a same phone number as another contact in the software, it will be allowed in just because we have this marked as none. Now, if I go ahead and do the opposite, what it'll do is it'll check for phone numbers rather than emails. Or I could just go ahead and just check both. And it doesn't matter if I do email up here first and then the phone, or vice versa. It's still going to check the same thing. That's not much difference. So we'll go ahead and update that. Now, probably the issues that we were seeing lately was on the opportunity board when you try to add a contact, it was showing that it was duplicate content and stuff like that. Because when you go to this opportunity page, when you go to this one, it gives you a couple options. So let's just say I want to add Bobby Joe. We see that there is no Bobby Joe inside the software, so you could create a new contact. And if you do that, it will create the new contact. But as soon as you try to put an email or phone number in, it won't allow it because the phone number email is already being used with another contact. So I grabbed some dummy data from another contact already in the software. So I'm going to go ahead and try to add Bobby Joe into here with that email so you can see what's going on. So I go ahead and add that. Oh, that's not it. Go ahead and add the phone number. Go ahead and add this. I could try to update all this information, but I don't really need to because it's not going to work. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on create, and it's going to show this location doesn't allow duplicate content. That's just because this contact already has an email or a contact with this email associated and a phone number associated with it. Same thing, since we have the settings where it checks both emails and phone number, I could just take this out, click on create, it won't work, or I could do vice versa and it won't work as well. That's why it's not working. Now, if I try to go in here and add a contact that does have this information, so let's just say, I don't know if this will work. I've never tried it this way. I wonder. Yeah, it doesn't work like this, but I don't know the person's email. So let's go ahead and add analytics. It's automatically going to grab the email or a phone number if it has a phone number associated and add it in here. So that way you're not creating a brand new contact. Now I do need to update this section right here. Analytics, sales, new lead, open, assigned to me, followers we don't need. Business name, we'll just say Lettuce Plumbing. dummy data. And I think we're good to go. So if I go ahead and create, it will make it because we just selected someone that was already in the software, and then we just fill in the information appropriately. Now, if I wanted to add a phone number in here right now, I can do that as long as the phone number is not already associated with another contact in there. Once again, this is just basically quality assurance. That's why you're doing that. So if I refresh, oh, it's already popped up. As you can see, it's now in the system. Now, another way you could check this is if you go to the contacts section, and let's just say I want to make sure this email is not already being used. I just type it in there, and boom, as you can see, there is that contact with that email. Same thing for the phone number. If I just type that in here, there it is. It shows up again. I could also use filters as well. So for example, if I just do is, and you use wildcards as well. So let's just say B wildcard at wildcard.com. So it's going to check to see if any context starts with a B and ends with .com in the email. So if I do that, click on apply, you see that there is one contact that starts with a B and ends with .com. That's a good example right there. So there's a lot of cool tricks and tips that you could use if you're using tags. For example, if I type in here, delete tags, and then I'll just do, I think we have lead as one. Yep, we do. And then apply. That doesn't look like we do. Bummer. So if oh, that's just because we have a search for this. You got to make sure that the quick search is off. So if I go back and do this again, so I was wondering why there was only one. That would be crazy. It probably will pop up more, but it might pop up with one if it's really the only one. Yep, there they are. So as you can see with the wildcard, you can see all these start with the B and they all end with .com. That's why they showed up. If I go ahead and let's just say and tag is lead, cool, and apply, it will show any emails that has that starts with B and ends with .com and has the tag lead. As you can see, there's two right there that has the tags leads and has the emails right there. So let's just say I want to add these people onto the opportunity board that we just had. You can do it on this page. All you got to do is click on the pipeline change and then select, choose the pipeline you want to add it to, choose which stage you want to put them on. If you don't have to add the opportunity name, it'll automatically default whatever that name is if you don't fill that out. Source, we'll call it dummy data. Lead value, don't worry about that. Opportunity status, we'll mark it as open, and test data. And then add update. And what it will do, it will add those two opportunities onto your opportunity board. And as you can see, there they are. Right there. Now we have three contacts right there. I don't think I added myself as a assignee, but I can go in and do that. Now, let's just say I want to make some updates to this specific contact. There's a couple ways you could do. One, you could update it right here if you wanted, or I would recommend just clicking on this little avatar icon, or if you're on this page right here, you can press the View Conversation tab as well. Either way works, and it will take you to this page right here, where you could go ahead and update all this information you have on the side right here. Now, your questions might be a little bit different from mine because a lot of these are custom values. So let's just say I want to go ahead and add a phone number to this person. So we'll just say 850-525-1234. Perfect. Hopefully that's not already in the system. And then we could go ahead and click on save. Now, you guys can't see on my screen. I have my screen a little bit cropped over. But this does say save, and it wasn't there until we made some changes. And then it goes away once you do. Now, if I go ahead and change dummy data, you see that the green box shows back up at the bottom, and you click on save. Cool. That's just a quick way, and if you want to add some tasks, some notes, appointments, stuff like that, this is also a page that you could do that on. Or you could just go ahead and send emails or text message. Now that we have an email in here, if I refresh this page, Oh, sorry. It's now that I have a phone number in here, I can refresh the page, and then you see that I can send a text message or an email right now. So cool little features right here. You can do it all inside this page. I could keep going and going, but there's just so much information that you could do in here. But I figured I just want to answer a couple of questions that people had. And last thing I do want to show is in the contact tab. Let's just say you do happen to have duplicate data for some odd reason. You can go ahead and select those two. Let's just say I'm going to type in that filter again, email, star@star.com as an example. And for some odd reason, I don't know why you would want to do this for this situation. Maybe you just want to merge all these datas together as one. You could just merge them like this. You would have to select certain fields. So let's just say, what do you want the first name to be? What's the last name? If they're all the same names and phone numbers, this would be a lot easier. But if they do have information that are different from each other, this is where you would do that, where you would just select, I want this phone number, I want this email, I want this first name, I want this last name, and then you could check the boxes that you want to keep the data on. But that's just a quick example right there. And then you can show all fields and go off of that. That's a quick and easy way to do it. If you just want to select everything on a specific field, you could just, there's a quick section right here where you could do that. It will still, and then you could choose like not interested, sold, lead, and stuff like that. But that's how you can merge some data. If you just want to do like 2, it also works, but you can only merge up to 10. And there you go. Hope that helps, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you so much.